There we go. All right, welcome to I'm all discombobulated. So welcome tonight to the Creating a Marketing Plan for Your Business presented by the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce and the Smithville Public Library. These class series is also made possible by a grant by the Institute of Museum and Library Sciences and the Texas State Library Archives Commission. So without further ado, my name is Anna Murray. I'm with Sundance Expressions. I am a local social media I run a local social media management company marketing company called Sundance Expressions. And I appreciate you being here with me tonight. And let's get started because you are here to learn more about the importance of marketing and getting a marketing plan together. So let me share my screen real quick. I love Canva, by the way, so I am working from Canva to present tonight's class. We had a few thunderstorms roll through here in Central Texas, and I'm going to credit that for giving us all kinds of technical issues today. This class, along with many others, are available via archive. They are recorded on our Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce website, which is www.smithvilletx.org. They can also be found as we are loading them on our Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, as well as the Smithville Public Library Facebook page. So with all that, here we go. Creating a marketing plan for your business. All right. So basically the class initially was designed to address marketing plans for social media. But honestly, social media doesn't always fit everyone's needs. And so I decided, instead of focusing solely on social media, that I would also address some print media as well as digital and face-to-face, because those, if we can just package all of those, then we're going to have a broader reach, especially when we're a local business, but even when we're a global business. So here we go. Think about this. The marketing plan provides a focus for us. It enables us to plan and manage our resources effectively. And I should have added efficiently, because when we get a plan together, we don't spend as much time worrying and stressing. We have a plan and we can move forward. So as we get going, I want to say that we have 3 different things I want to touch on today. And the first one is identifying your goals. When we go to create a marketing plan, one of the first things we need to do is decide what is our goal. If this is the first, if we are just opening a business, are we trying to get our brand out there? Are we just trying to establish visibility? Or are we established and now we're trying to promote something such as an event or a special sale? So maybe the closing of a season and opening of a new season, whether it's a brick and mortar store where you have products that you're selling, or if you are a service provider and there are seasons that come and go. The other thing to think about with what you want to accomplish is, are you advertising goods? Are you advertising services? So as you go to create your marketing plan, first think about what is it that you plan to accomplish. So let me get my items here moved. There we go, hit the right button. The next step is to know what about your business, what you offer, whether it's a product or a service, makes your business unique. What makes you unique? At the same time, know your competitors. So basically, I may own a small boutique, and 2 streets over or even 3 doors down, there may be another boutique that sells the same product that I do. What's different about mine? Because chances are we're not selling the exact same thing. That would not have been a good market analysis for me in the first place, to open a business 2 doors down from someone who has the exact same thing. So what makes me different? And then what are my competitors doing? Setting me apart. It seems to explain itself in its own words, but at the same time, you really got to think about, I love this graphic that I chose, which was the umbrella, because ultimately an umbrella is not an umbrella, even though an umbrella is an umbrella. There's so many different pieces with just the umbrella. I could spend 30 minutes just talking about the differences in an umbrella company. So you really want to understand where your unique product or service is, or how it is unique to you and to your customers. And when I say ask what are your competitors doing, I'm not talking about mimicking them or emulating them. It's about knowing what they're doing. Be knowledgeable about what your competitors are doing, what's working for them, what's not working for them. And don't just copy paste, but you still have to stay focused on what your business is, knowing what they're doing and learning from them, but don't be duplicating what they're doing exactly. So be smart about that. And one of the things that is very, very important to me, and this is something that I drive with all of my clients because I'm a social media marketer, is being authentic. The voice of the company, the voice of the business needs to be the voice that is specific to them. If you're witty and you've got humor, show that in your marketing, have fun. If you're maybe more in a business such as a lawyer potentially, or an attorney, something needs to be very astute majority of the time. Be there, be with the client that you are reaching to, but always be yourself. And more than likely, if you are an attorney or a lawyer, you have a different clientele than someone who is maybe a plumber or mowing lawns. But you need to be you. Always be authentically you. You have to wonder, what does this have to do with marketing? It truly establishes what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it. But you have to write these things out to some degree and understand what your approach is in order to be successful at it. So the next step is defining your target market. Who, or do you have a business that everyone's going to be interested in? My best example there is something like the soft drink industry. I know that if I were to market Coca-Cola, for example, or Dr. Pepper, that's a universal brand. It doesn't matter how old you are, within reason. You could be interested in having that soda and enjoying that. But if you are in an industry where your business is more along the lines of promoting or selling baby goods, you're probably not going to market everyone. You're going to market those who have newborns, maybe grandparents, but you're not probably going to market to everyone. So it's just knowing who you're marketing to. If I'm in a lawn care business, I'm probably not going to market to those that live in apartments in a high-rise apartment, right? They don't have yards. So just define your target market and know who you're going to approach, and then how you're going to approach them. This is very important. What makes your business unique? Who is your target market? And then you're ready to begin with that marketing plan. So think about this. When you're working on your marketing and you know your target market and you know what you're doing, is what are the areas that you're going to approach? Honestly, I think you need to approach all of them to some degree, but it's really about knowing who your market is. If I am a global market, I'm probably not going to spend a lot of time on the print media. Print media to me is something that you actually print out on a piece of paper or cardstock, something like that would be in a rack card that would sit in your local chamber of commerce or in your local hotel. It's not something that you would put out globally. Social media, as you well know, can reach all over. Digital media, when I think of digital media, I think of websites, email marketing, TV, radio. Now, obviously, TV and radio can get really drilled into regional reaches, but your email and website can go global. Social media can go global, but to target your market, you can really bring into the niche that you're reaching to. The Facebook, Instagram, Twitters, and YouTube, those are the big four right now. You can really drill into that niche market. Even if you have a local brick and mortar store where you may be either a restaurant or a small boutique, you can still utilize YouTube, which is seen as a global reach. You can really drill down into your audience. It's about how you get that information to them that is the driver. So with that, think about print media, rack cards, business cards, newsletters, magnets. Now put EDDMs here as well. EDDM, just to make sure that everyone is familiar with an EDDM is an every door direct mailer. There is a program with the United States Postal Service that you can log in, create an account, and you can drill down into an area that you want to get a printed postcard that you design or you have designed, you have printed, you get the proper information on it, and you deliver it to the local postal service, and they can send it just to a specific audience. It can be the audience behind a local Walmart in the new housing development. It can go out to the entire zip code. You can really drill down into the income of the individuals that you're targeting, different routes in the area that you're trying to reach. And it's a good way to use print media and use the Postal Service at a discounted rate. It's like 19 cents a postcard as compared to sending at a typical postcard rate for just me, the person outside of the business. It's look on the United States Postal Service website and search for EDDM, and there's a good, it's kind of hard to navigate to some degree, but if you have a local chamber, you can always go to them and ask them, because they are built on helping businesses grow. As far as social media goes, oh my goodness, there's so much targeting that you can drill down into with Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Facebook specifically, I have a lot more experience with Facebook and can really drill down into age ranges, distances where you are located, where you provide your service, or if you are more of a global brand, that you can reach out into a certain age group with certain interests. It's mind-boggling how you can do that. But you're not here to listen to all those details. You're here to learn more about the power of marketing and creating a marketing plan for your business. But to know these things exist and are available to you is part of the process. And I don't want to miss out on adding something I didn't put in this slide, is in-person marketing. If you are a local business and you have a local reach, whether it's 30 miles, 50 miles, or 10 miles, knowing people, going to networking events, going to local events, sponsoring those local events, that's another way to market. But building that into your plan and then building that into your budget is a large, huge key. And of course, there's always opportunities to support your local activities, youth activities, especially pre and post the pandemic, as more and more people are getting out, and our youth activities and our sporting activities and our other events are out there. It's more of an opportunity to grow your reach by sponsoring. And when you sponsor an event, of course, the actual event organizer is going to help share information about your business as well. So with all that, let me go to the next slide. What happened? Where's my next slide? Oh, there it is. Thought I was having another technical glitch. So the next one is when to market. Think about not only where your target audience is, but when you're going to push it out. With marketing, it really needs to be planned out. Too many times I run into businesses who they feel like they're strong with their marketing because they get a lot of information out and they're constantly putting things on Facebook or they're sending out mailers, but if they're not planning it out ahead of time, then is the timing correct? If you have an event coming up in 2 weeks, now is almost too late to start sharing that. It's better to start a month out and then 2 weeks really start pushing more, whether it's an every door direct mailer through the postal service, whether it's on social media, the website. People are constantly searching for different things and they're using different keywords, and your business could or could not miss out on that if you don't get that out there. So it's very important to get the information out there. The other thing to consider is when you post, and I'm going to lean into Facebook a little bit here. When you post, when you market, maybe you're a pest control company, consider what your message is, making sure that it's, you're asking people on social media, do you have pest issues with your home? Well, who wants to say yes to that? Think about how you're wording things. But the better win with the pest control, as far as timing, is about the whole concept of what times of the year do people truly deal with pests more than other times. Maybe right after the rainy season, sometimes the mosquitoes start coming out, at least in our area. And sometimes at the late summer, other pests come out. So that might be a better time to target for you. I'm getting a little off track, so I better get back on track here. So timing and visibility is a huge one, because we want to make sure that when we are thinking about our target audience and we're thinking about our products or services, that we want to make sure that we get that information in the right place, the right time, and the right audience. So one of the things that I was thinking about is, if you're sponsoring something in the local community that would be good exposure for your business, consider if the local T-ball club or T-ball or Little League group or basketball program for the youth is, if you're targeting parents that are in their late 20s, early 30s, then that is a good organization to put your business sponsorship on, because you're going to be targeting individuals in that area. If you're targeting, oh gosh, let me just say it, if you're targeting a tobacco product, probably not a good idea to, or excuse me, if you're selling a tobacco product, it's probably not a good idea to target youth or their parents in that youth setting. It's not a good idea. It's not a good message. So think about what your content or what your product is, what your service is, and when I push the information over here, is it going to be heard by the group that I want it to be heard by? And so the next one is where. Where should I advertise my business? It kind of goes along with the when, but at the same time, they're so interchangeable and they blend with each other so much. So where should I be posting, or where should I be advertising and putting my marketing dollars behind? If you are in a local entity, a local community, more than likely you have a chamber of commerce. Becoming a member of your chamber of commerce is so important, because the chamber's job, the whole reason they're there, is to support local businesses, whether you're in a large city or a small town, and they can help get your name and your business exposure in your local community. You can place things like business cards there, and rack cards that sit on a rack in the building. You can get on social media. You can get in the local newspaper. There's so many advertising options today to get your brand out there. Your local chamber has people come in all the time to their communities, and they're asking the chamber, where do I go for, who can I call for this, that, or the other? And you may be the only business that's a member, and they can help market your business. Okay, so rack cards, the print media, where you can place it physically. You can also use in your store if you have a brick and mortar to pass out, and you can also use those same things, that same graphic, which I'll touch on here in a minute, and use it in your social media, your website. All right, I'm going to move on a little bit because I tend to get bogged down in things, but this is what I was speaking to with the placement and duplication. When you create a graphic on something you're going to put on a print media, the postcard or the rack card for the chamber, you can also use that graphic in your social media promotions as well as on your website. So try not to place everything in a silo. And these are things to be thinking of, because I know that when I first started my business and as I've helped others, it's amazing to me how many by default know, it's not that they didn't know any better, but they're so focused on trying to get their print media going and their social media going and their digital media going. And they forget that this print media, they can take to this in-house networking event that their community has. They can pass it out, business cards, rack cards, they can self-promote. And also, like I mentioned just a few minutes ago, is taking the graphics that you built for this particular print media can be utilized in other digital means as well. So don't lose out on that opportunity. Don't think that everything lives in its own separate silo. All right. Now, the title of this class is about creating the marketing plan. Some of these things don't necessarily connect to the next step is at, now I need to think about this, now I need to write this down. But this piece here, this building relationships, is so important to your marketing because it kind of leans on that angle of being genuine, being yourself. Think about when you are establishing or creating your marketing plan, think about the relationships that you're going to build that are important, whether you are a global company or you are an online only company, business, whether you sell goods, whether you provide a service, or whether you have that brick and mortar shop down the road. Think about who your potential customers are. Think about the relationship you build with them through your company, through the services and products you provide, how that can turn them, your relationship with them can turn them into loyal fans and customers who would not consider anyone else for your goods or your services. That's a key. I mentioned the Chamber of Commerce. Build a relationship with that Chamber of Commerce. We're in a small town here. We have maybe a little over 2,000 people that live in the town proper. There are 400 businesses that are members of our chamber. Of those 400 businesses, how many of them do what you do? And if you're constantly staying in connection or contact with the chamber, how can they help promote your business? It's keeping your brand relevant, keeping your brand in the eyes and in the ears of people around. That's one way to grow your business. And then, of course, I love this last one, the local business partnerships. We have, the best example I can give you is we have a local boutique. It's a women's boutique, cute clothes, and they are right next door to an upscale wine bar. And they have partnered on so many fashion shows. And how brilliant is that? The local boutique ask their friends, locals, to model the clothes. They invite their friends and family to the wine bar. They get to show their clothes as they're going down the runway of this fashion show in this local wine bar. the wine bar, people are buying food and drinks, and then people end up going to the store and shop. It's just a great opportunity for two businesses to work together to help promote each other. And then some people are introduced to the wine bar for the first time, and some people are introduced to this wonderful line of small boutique clothing for the first time. So it was a really smart plan from both of these businesses to work together. So don't forget to do those things also, especially if you're in a brick and mortar business. You do not have to stand alone. Now, as you gather all this information, you really want to start thinking about how you're going to put your plan into motion. I recommend that you plan on a quarterly basis, especially as you're getting going. Right now, we're in the month of May when this class is taking place. So if I were to sit down with a new client, I would say, let's look at June, July, and August. Let's look at 3 months. So we've gone through all those other areas that I've talked about earlier. We've defined those. We've written those things down. We've thought about them. We've talked about them. And then we look at each month, June, July, and August. What is it that we're trying to do? Do we have any sales that are coming up? Do we have a line of product that is going to come off the shelf and a new one's coming on? Do we want to try to schedule a sale for those products going off? Do we want to promote? We've got this new line coming in. Do we have something seasonal? Maybe it's coming up on summertime, beachwear, if I'm a product that sells those things, or do I just want to rotate my stock? Or am I a service provider that even if I'm a plumber, I've got certain things, there are certain things that happen in the plumbing industry, as with all industries, at different seasons of the year, whether it's maintenance, whether it's preparation, or whether it's fixing problems. And then, of course, events. Events could be something as simple as a restaurant looking at a Mother's Day dinner, or something coming up with Halloween and you want to do something with the kids and you want to get them into your stores, or you want to entice people to consider coming into your store and look, you come get this, candy for the kids, but we've got this opportunity for you to also take advantage of this sale. So write those things out. Be thinking about what it is you're going to market in June, now July, now August. Now, of course, you can write them where they fall best, most efficiently, but then step back and look at how. Do I want to send this only through social media? Do I want to also put this on my website, which is a yes, always. You want that information on your website as well. Because when people find you on social media, they want to go to your website, if you have one, and see that everything coincides. It takes work, but it's something that's important. And having a social media account, if you do not, especially Facebook, really provides a legitimacy to the fact that you actually have a business. It's amazing how social media plays into that whole, if you didn't have a website, your business may not be real. Now it's websites default, but social media is becoming more of, if I can't find you on social media, maybe you don't have a business. So consider those things. And of course, it all depends on where you are and who your audience is as to what you use. Maybe you're going to do a print marketing mailer. Maybe you have a group in town that you can utilize email, which I haven't even touched on that. I apologize. But if you have a website, consider having a link where people can enter their email address to get updates if you have sales. Also, when people come in and purchase from your store, consider having a sign-up sheet of some sort, either online or on paper, where they can sign up for emails. It's a great way to advance your marketing down the road. But quickly, because I know we're coming up on time, is even as you plan those 3 months out, don't wait until the end of the 3rd month to start looking at the next quarter. You don't want something to sneak up on you. You really want to caution from running into something such as I mentioned earlier a restaurant planning for a Mother's Day dinner special, trying to get people to come into the restaurant and enjoy Mother's Day. What a great day to take mom out, right? But if you do that a day or two in advance of Mother's Day, you've kind of missed the target. You've missed the opportunity to reach people, because people typically have planned where they're going to go already. And many times they have to think about reservations. Another example is, say you own a mowing or a landscaping company, and predominantly your business is built on mowing lawns. You get so into mowing lawns and getting each of your clients taken care of, and all of a sudden you turn around, it's November, December, and then nobody's lawn needs to be mowed, at least not here in Central Texas, in December and January. Now you don't have income. Step back a couple of months, go back to September or October, and think about, what are the services that I can provide, my business can provide as a landscaper, as a mowing company? Is there something else I can do? In December, maybe I can string Christmas lights. Maybe I can clean gutters, excuse me. Because in this part of Texas, we have a lot of oak trees. We have a lot of oak leaves that get into people's gutters. Something to think about, but you promote it a couple of months out because people will see it, but then they'll know who to call when they need it. They won't be asking, who do I call? How do I do this? Offer those services. Think about, if you do offer those services, think about it in advance. So that helps you plan ahead. As you get this set in motion, then you can start looking at a full year. As you get more experienced in getting all those upfront questions asked, answered, put into motion, or put on paper and then put into motion, consider the fact that as your business grows, it may change and your target may change. How you get the information out there changes, or maybe it doesn't. That's just a part of paying attention to what you're doing, what you're using, and you can plan out your dollars, because at the end of the day, you have a business to make a profit. To make that profit, plan out your marketing. Especially if you're just starting, consider setting a budget of a certain amount. You have to determine what's best for you. Social media is free. Outside of building the website, that and maintaining the domain name and the subscription to the website host, what you put up on a regular basis outside of those costs is free. Joining a chamber costs a couple of dollars, but it typically pays off because the chamber's job is to help support your business. That's for local, right? So if you can afford to focus a print mailing out to your local community, consider that. Consider once a year, maybe twice a year. But I must say that if you are a service-based or brick and mortar and your target area is a local community, sit down with your Chamber of Commerce, see how they can help you, because some of them send out monthly mailers themselves, and occasionally you can slip in a promotional flyer that can be sent out for you. So there's no telling where you can get some cost savings. And I will also say one more thing that just came to my mind is consider partnering with another business. Maybe you sell baked goods and they sell home goods. Split the cost of a mailer, and you're still targeting this general area. So you're targeting two businesses on one mailer, so you can split the cost. The cost is going to be the same whether you send it and they send it at the same cost, or you can split that cost. There's all kinds of ways that you can save money as you market your business. I know this was a whirlwind, and I hope that you were able to get some information. And if you have any questions, I am going to need to stop sharing real quick to see if we do have a chat. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Again, I know that was kind of fast. It's marketing is one of those things that I've learned that it takes time. I know it was. Thank you, Kelly. It was fast. I've been running my business for about 4.5 years now, and the marketing for other businesses, every single business I work with has a different marketing strategy. But the best part about it is that strategy fits their needs, because we spend time, and it does take exactly that. It takes time to answer all those questions up front. You know what you do, you know what you provide, whether it's a good a product, a good, or a services, right? You really have to drill down into who do I want, who's my ideal client, and how do I reach them. So sometimes you have to sit and spend some time writing those things down, and it helps you with your marketing. Otherwise, the sad part is when we spend time and we just market blanketly to everyone and we're missing our target. So I do appreciate you being here today. Thank you. I appreciate you saying it was informative, and yes, you can watch it, and it does feel like a whirlwind to me as well. But I wanted to offer this. There was a question that came in before, and the question was, how do I track metrics on print material? So how do I track if the money I'm spending to send this print material for my brick and mortar business or my service-based business? Well, honestly, with Facebook, you can pull the insights. With your website, you can pull the analytics, but learning who you're reaching is when you send something on a print material in the mail. You just have to ask people. You have to do it the old-fashioned way. Ask people, how did you hear about us? And you have to keep track of those things. So with all that, yeah, definitely putting a code or asking someone to enter a code. That's an excellent point. Kelly just added in the chat that put a code or something on your print material, so you will get those metrics as well. So you get that information. So, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Again, appreciate you being here. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Go back and watch. And then also, don't hesitate to contact the Smithville Area Chamber of Commerce at www.smithvilletx.org, or you can always call them at 512-237-2313, and they'll be happy to help you or direct you where to find the recording for this. So with that, I'm going to close out. So thanks for coming. Appreciate you being here. Have a good evening.